We can't have a conversation about morality.
No.
Because what is moral to one is not moral to another.
Yes.
I'm a dude who believes in monogamy. Others believe in polygamy. Some are asexual. Some are heterosexual. Some are homosexual. We can have a conversation about legality, but let's not have a conversation about morality because no one will ever agree on that one.
Gotcha.
So let's stick to the conversation of legality. As I look at it, Urban Meyer did nothing illegal, first and foremost, but now let's have the real conversation.
We're already.
Urban Meyer's not a college coach coaching boys who are looking to Urban Meyer to be a father figure, who are looking to Urban Meyer to be their daddy. Urban Meyer is now coaching grown men who are grown men. So if you're looking at Urban Meyer, look at Urban Meyer to be your head coach. I'm not looking at Urban Meyer to be the pinnacle of what marriage looks like, because no football coach realistically is a pinnacle of what marriage looks like. Because if you're in the office 20 hours a day while your spouse and children are at home, that's probably not idealizing your marriage. Okay? So let's not say that, well, Trevor Lawrence is a rookie who's newly married and Urban Meyer needs to be a prime example, because what's an example to one is not an example to another. Let's also go further and say this.
Goodness, you're eating.
We've been in locker rooms, man. And if you all haven't been in locker rooms at the NFL level, then you'll just have to take our word for it. The level of, there are so many more egregious actions, so many more than what we saw from Urban Meyer. Now, that's not to undermine what Urban Meyer did. That's just to bring in the full context of the picture at hand.
Yes.
The last thing I'm going to say on my first lap, and I'm going to borrow it from you, my dog.
Oh, nice. Wiley is.
This is an 0-4 conversation. This is not an Urban Meyer conversation. Because if the Jaguars were 4-0, this would not be nearly as big a deal. But no one cares what you're doing until you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Yes. And Urban Meyer ain't doing what he's supposed to be doing because they are 0-4. So now everybody cares what he is doing. But let's not have a conversation about morality because people disagree on morality. Let's have a conversation about legality. And there was no illegal matter here.
Man, okay, for clarity purposes, first of all, Acho, amazing. You made up for wearing a jacket to the damn game last night. Amazing. Let's say this. I need clarity, though. You started off by saying you like the Jaguars and what they're doing with the Urban Meyer
situation. They didn't suspend them. They didn't
so you do like
them.
their handling?
Yes.
Okay.
That's all I like.
Okay. I don't like how the Jaguars are handling this situation. Let's just start off with, I hear an alarm going off, a little virtue signaling going on here, a little grandstanding for my taste, my desires. I'm from the old school, man, where you don't bring attention to something you don't want getting attention. Like, if you're an organization, you have made this bigger, and this is something you want to go away. Where does that make sense in terms of coming out with your statement? I understand. You have a public, and there's a behind the veil that you have a private matter. But that private matter became public. Why fan the flames for the public when this could go away? I got to go back to just not only my upbringing, my child rearing, but also me being a father now. And I know one thing, that the discipline of being a parent is not for outsiders. It's not for their consumption. It's not for their desires and taste buds. It's for me in trying to do something for someone I love. And the reason I bring up a parent in this situation rather than a spouse, because this is about a subordinate. This is about someone who you employ. And this is about disciplining them. But are you disciplining them or making this statement for our consumption or for Urban Meyer? Because if you did it for Urban Meyer, that should have been enough. To your point, nothing illegal occurred. Something ethical, unethical, something immoral, maybe that discussion. Here we are, giving real venue to something that was just small in our little worlds. And this world, this microwave mentality of, the news cycle, it's not even 24 hours anymore. It's 24 minutes, dog. Why would an organization come down with a heavy hand on this situation when they know how this situation is? Let me tell you, there's two, and I'm split right here. You come down on him with a heavy hand because you're saying, look, this is not about my beliefs. This is about his commitment. I dare a player on a Thursday night loss say, hey, I'm going to stay back and hang out with the fam bam, and then this occurs. I understand why you want to discipline that same player, so you would discipline a coach. But at the same time, would you come out and make a public statement, fanning the flame for more people to consume what that discipline looks like? But on the flip side, and this is the part that you and I could talk about, sorry, no moderator, you ain't in the building. Behind that veil, the level of transgressions, the level of issues that occur on an NFL team, you got to know when to pick your battles. And for me, this is not a battle I want to pick with Urban Meyer for public consumption. I would have kept this a private matter and let everyone else out there just have fun with it on Twitter until it dies.
Correct. And eventually it will go away. Yeah. Now, here's what I do have issue with the Jaguars. Shad Khan saying he needs to regain our trust. Urban ain't lose nobody's trust.
Well,
then nobody didn't.
Nobody.
Okay.
That part.
Urban ain't lose the Jaguars. Trust?
Okay, there you go. That's why I'm saying what y'all talking about.
The Jaguars, he needs to regain your trust. He might need to regain somebody's trust, but it's not the 53 in the locker room.
Yeah.
It's not the coaching staff. Now, let's pause for a second. Let's woosah. I need you all to understand. I need to understand myself. My dog Marcellus, we all collectively need to understand. If we want to have a conversation about him not going back with the team after the loss, bet. That's a different conversation.
Yeah,
right? If y'all think that's an issue, I co-sign. I completely agree to an extent that is an issue.
Yep.
Now, I've played Thursday night games against the Dallas Cowboys on Thanksgiving. Several individuals from Dallas stayed in Dallas after that Thursday night game because our head coach, Chip Kelly, was like, hey, do your thing. Win or loss, your family's from there. Stay in Dallas as opposed to flying back to Philly, getting on a plane, flying back to Dallas. That's less safe. So it's not as if it's the craziest thing in the world to be able to stay in a city you're familiar with. Go ahead.
You didn't finish that sentence. See, I didn't say that, and I knew that. Here's the thing. Coach is like, look, I'm going to give you a pass, but don't you take the P off the pass. And if you take the P off the pass, then you're going to make me look like, Here's the problem. This is the only problem. Coach always giving us like a little leash. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. But don't you dare let me get that phone call. Okay? And that's all it is. Don't get caught. Young Jeezy song. Like, do what you got to do, player. Don't get caught. And that's the problem. In this situation, commitment isn't just, okay, I'm going to stay back, and that's a bad look. The bad look is not that you stayed back, because nobody would have known and no one would have cared. The bad look is what happened when you stayed back. This is why I tell my kids all the time, look, you're going to try and sneak and do some stuff. Daddy did it too. I get it. But here's the thing. I don't have to worry about your every move, because when you get caught, it's going to tell me what you were moving like. It's going to tell me what the movement was. Urban Meyer staying back, probably has stayed back in many a trips before. Do we have that record? Do we have that account? No, we don't. He got caught up in something. And then to make matters worse, to add insult to injury, the organization comes down grandstanding on an issue that would never been an issue, not because of the commitment, but just because he got caught.
The other thing, because you are right on that, is
come on, man.
Everybody says, well, it's a distraction. That's the point we're at now in this conversation. He got caught, thus it's a distraction. You want to know what else was a distraction? Signing Tim Tebow. And that was a distraction for 3 months. So let's keep the main thing. The main thing.
The main thing.
Everybody just looking for reasons to make this a big deal. Well, it was a distraction. Signing Tim Tebow was a bigger distraction. Well, he didn't go back on the team plane. Well, several players also don't go back on the team plane after Thursday games.
Preach.
Well, he needs to lead his young quarterback who just got married. Well, working 20 hours a week isn't great leadership for a young quarterback that just got married. In theory, neither is being a head coach that's single. In theory, neither is being a head coach who's been divorced. So now we just going to disqualify about everybody in the junction, in the function for their actions and their behaviors. I'm at the point, Sel, which is, I do think there is a lot of grandstanding, if you will. There's a lot of being outraged just to be outraged. At the end of the day, if you didn't respect Urban Meyer before, you not gonna respect him now. And if you did respect Urban Meyer before, you still gonna respect him now. But I'm not going to look at this incident as to say, oh my gosh, I've lost all respect for Urban Meyer. one incident isn't going to make me gain all respect for one individual. This incident is its own isolated incident, which needs to be judged and assessed accordingly. But again, if it is a matter of legality, there was no illegal matter. If it is a matter of morality, then you cannot cast your morals onto somebody else. And this is coming from the dude who ain't never smoked, ain't never drank, ain't never been to the strip club.